Grace family. I am Liz Kemper. Today I would like to share with you a little bit about part of my Grace story, and it involves my twin boys, Harrison and Hudson, but mainly I'm going to focus on Hudson. So they were born at 29 weeks with twin-to-twin transfusion, and they were 1 and 2 pounds, and we were told that they had a 10 to 15 chance of survival. The next day, we were informed that Hudson's leg had a serious complication. We weren't really sure what that involved because the doctor said that he had never seen that before, so he started to consult with a surgeon, a pediatric surgeon in the area, and we would have to make a decision in order to save Hudson's life. And so the surgeon told us that this was, Dr. Goodman told us that this was not a great scenario, that not only because Hudson was a micro-preemie, but, and on a vent, but also he had never performed a surgery on a baby this small. We knew that our options were limited, but we made the decision to amputate from the hip down. Okay, so the next few days were spent praying, crying out to God. There was a moment where I was upstairs and I remember I had the Bible open, and I just had my face laying down because the words wouldn't come. And I was just crying out to God, and I said, you know, Jesus, if you will just let me keep my son, I will always give you the glory. Just please let me keep my baby. I remember I slept that night. I got up the next morning. I got dressed. We had, Greg was meeting me at the hospital, and I remember walking in to the NICU. I remember I turned a corner and I saw 4 or 5 nurses standing around Hudson's bed, and my first thought was, oh no. And I ran to him, and the nurse looked at me and she said, the pulse is back in his leg. And I said, what do you mean? And she handed me her stethoscope, and I listened, and the pulse had come back in his leg where they were planning on amputating. And so the doctor was in there at that point, and we all kind of just stood there and looked at each other, crying, and we hugged. And I remember the doctor looked at me and said, I'm gonna go call my mom. She prays, and I'm going back to church. When Hudson was 5 months old, we realized that his leg from below the knee down was not going to be viable. And so we had made the choice, after many second opinions and prayer, that it would be most productive for him in order to have a productive life to amputate from the knee, from below the knee down. That was a hard one for me because, and for Greg, because we, for a while, couldn't understand why God wouldn't just completely heal him, why he would allow that. I think he did heal him, just not the way that we thought he was going to. He did, in fact, perform a miracle. He performed many miracles in the NICU. And the Bible verses that I have leaned on is Jeremiah 29:11, and then also Isaiah 55:8-9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither your ways are my ways. As the heaven is higher than the earth, so are my ways. And that's what we have to believe and trust in God.